What makes a figure skating spin? Hi everyone, this is Amy. Welcome to my channel. I've done a lot of videos about figure skating spins. Today, I'm gonna go over the basics. There are 4 principles you need to know about spins. First, a spin must have a minimum number of 3 continuous revolutions. A spin with less than 3 revolutions is regarded as a skating movement, not a spin. Number 2, for any spin with a change of foot, the spin must have 3 revolutions before and 3 revolutions after the change of foot. Number 3, the minimum number of required continuous revolutions will be counted from the entry of the spin until its exit, except the final wind-up in one position on flying spins. Ensure that you don't count your entrance and exit in the number of revolutions. To play it safe, it's a good practice to get at least 5 revolutions in total for all your spins. Number 4, when your foot goes down with a weight change, the spin is over. There are 3 basic spin positions. Upright. This is any position with the skating leg extended or slightly bent. That is not a camel position. A sit spin is when the upper part of the skating leg or your thigh is at least parallel to the ice. A camel is when your free leg is backward with the knee higher than hip level. Then there's a layback spin, which is an upright spin with the head and shoulders leaning backward and your back is arched. The position of the free leg is optional. There's also a Biellmann spin. This is a difficult variation of an upright position when your free leg is pulled from behind into a position higher than and towards the top of your head, close to the spinning axis. All spin positions, not according to those definitions, are considered non-basic positions. Types of spins. Spin combination. This must include a minimum of 2 different basic positions with 2 revolutions in each of those positions, anywhere within the spin. The number of revolutions in positions that are non-basic is counted in the total number of revolutions. Changing to a non-basic position is not considered a change of position. A change of foot may be executed in the form of a step over or a jump. The change of foot and the change of position may be made either simultaneously or separately. A spin combination must include all 3 basic positions to receive full value. For a spin in one position, you may change feet if that's permitted by your program requirements, but you may not change position. Non-basic positions are permitted and counted in the total number of revolutions. However, in ISSA events, they're not eligible for features to increase the level. The final upright position at the end of a spin is not considered another position, regardless of the number of revolutions. So if no additional feature, like a change of edge, variation of position, is attempted in the final windup, it's not counted as anything. A flying spin. This is a spin with a flying entrance, no change of foot and no change of position. Non-basic positions are permitted and counted in the total number of revolutions. But in ISSA events, they're not eligible for features to increase the level. Spins may be performed on the outside and inside edges, plus a true flat. Spins can also be performed with forward and backward rotation in either or both clockwise and counterclockwise directions. Traditional forward upright sit and camel are spins initiated by a hook forward, outside 3 turn, and rotate on the inside edge or a flat. Back upright sit camel spins are initiated by a hook forward inside 3 turn, and then rotate backward on the outside edge or flat. Each spin performed in a well-balanced free skate must have a different character. Abbreviations can be found in the ISU scale of values or SOV table. Character is also referred to as the nature of a spin. Rules and requirements should always be checked regarding what spin features are permitted in the level that you're competing. A spin that begins with a backward entry and a spin that starts with a forward entry are considered to have the same character if they are otherwise the same type of spin. Of course, as is often the case, there's an exception. The exception is if you're testing pre-preliminary or adult pre-bronze singles free skate. For these tests only, a backward upright 1-foot spin is considered of a different character than a forward 1-foot upright spin. For those tests, both may be performed, but that is an exception for those lower levels only. Otherwise, examples of spins with different character. A sit spin with a forward entry has the same character as a sit spin with a backward entry. A spin combination combination with a change of foot with a forward entry is the same code and value as a combination spin with a change of foot that begins from a backward entrance. A spin with a flying entry has a different character than a spin without a flying entry. For example, a flying sit spin would read FSSP, F for flying, SSP for sit spin. The F before the SSP makes it a different character. A spin with a change of foot has a different character than a spin without a change of foot. For example, a camel spin, a change of foot to a back sit spin to an upright spin would read CCOSP. The C is for change of foot and the COSP is for combination spin, giving us CCOSP. A camel sit upright spin without a change of foot would read COSP. All spin combinations without a change of foot and no flying entry are considered to have the same character, regardless of the number or types of positions. All spin combinations with a change of foot and no flying entry are considered to have the same character, regardless of the number or types of positions and the number of changes of the foot. If a combination spin has a flying entry, the code is FSOSP. If a combination spin has a flying entry and a change of foot, the code is FCCOSP. Once the skater has developed strong basic positions with camel, sit, and upright, it's time for you to start learning what IJS refers to as features or difficult variations. A difficult variation is a movement of a body part, leg, arm, hand, or head, that requires more physical strength or flexibility and influences the balance of the main body core. Only these variations can increase the level. There are different categories in which a difficult variation can be executed. These are called level features. Difficult variations count as many times as performed, with limitations specified. Change of foot executed by a jump. Jump within a spin without changing feet. Difficult change of position on the same foot. Difficult entrance, difficult exit. Clear change of edge in a sit spin, only from backward inside to forward outside. Camel, layback, Biellmann, or difficult variation of upright position, both directions immediately following each other in a sit or camel spin. A clear increase of speed in camel, sit, layback, Biellmann, or difficult variation of an upright position, except in cross-foot spins. At least 8 revolutions without changes in position, variation, foot, or edge. Camel, layback, difficult variation of any basic position, or for combinations only, non-basic position. Difficult variation in flying entry, in flying spins, spins with a flying entrance. Additional features for the layback spin: 1 evident change of position, backwards, sideways, or reverse. At least 2 revolutions in each position. This also counts if the layback position is part of another spin. Biellmann position after layback spin. In the short program, after 8 revolutions in layback spin for junior and senior. Each category can only be used once per program for a level feature. The first attempt is the only one counted, whether the difficult variation is actually achieved or not. A difficult variation is considered attempted when this variation is clearly visible, independent of the fact that the variation was actually counted or not. A difficult variation in a non-basic position is only considered for a level feature in spin combinations. If a difficult variation in a non-basic position of a spin combination is quite similar to one executed difficult variation in a basic position, the last performed of these 2 variations will not be counted as a level feature. Once a difficult variation has been attempted and another difficult variation of the same category is executed, the second of the 2 difficult variations cannot be counted, but any additional feature, such as 8 revolutions, edge change, increase in speed, that are executed in the difficult variation can still be counted. Defining spin variations. Simple variation of position is a movement of the body part, leg, arm, hand, or head, which enhances but does not change the basic position of the main body core. A simple variation does not increase the level. A difficult variation is the movement of a body part, leg, arm, hand, or head that requires more physical strength or flexibility and influences the balance of the main body core. Only those variations can increase the level. Upright spin variations focus on the direction of the torso. The torso is either facing, leaning, forward, upright or straight up. That's an upright straight, or it can be sideways, or in a Biellmann position, upright Biellmann. A windmill or illusion can be considered a level feature for difficult variations of non-basic positions, or difficult entry, or difficult change of edge, or difficult change of position, only the first time you attempt it. This movement must show physical strength or flexibility and influence the balance of the main body core. The windmill is performed by the skater keeping their head, torso, and free leg in a straight line and rhythmically bobbing above and below the position of the standard camel spin. This can be considered a difficult variation of a non-basic position if performed 3 times in a row. Categorizing difficult variations. Sit spin variations. These variations depend on the direction of the free leg. The free leg can be in front, that's a sit forward, to the side, that's a sit side, or behind, that's a sit behind. There are a variety of ways to achieve each feature. Camel spin variations. These variations depend on where the shoulders are facing. The shoulders are either forward, that's a camel forward, where they're parallel to the ice, to the side, twisted vertical, that's a camel sideways, or facing upward toward the ceiling. Past vertical is a camel upward. As with the sit spin, there are a variety of ways to reach each feature. Flying spins. The flying camel is intended with a forward outside edge jump entry to a back camel spin. A regular flying camel is not counted as a difficult feature or difficult entrance. The flying sit spin is initiated with a forward outside edge jump entry to a forward or back sit position. A flying sit spin entry achieves a total sit spin position in the air with height and total movement control, or an open butterfly position in the air, taking a sit position immediately after landing. The sit spin can be rewarded as difficult flying entry. When performed correctly, the death drop is a unique way to enter the flying sit spin. It may be regarded as a difficult flying entry. The best way to approach your spins is to start with solid spins in your basic positions, upright, including your back spin, sit spins, and camel spins. Then begin to build on a combination spin and change combination spins. Start with forward upright to backward upright, then forward sit spin and backward sit spin. Then work on spin features to create leveled spins with the goal of achieving all 3 basic positions within each spin. Then get creative. Work towards 8 revolutions in a camel sitting upright. Add difficult variations and flying entries. If this video inspired you to work on your spins, please give it a like and share it with somebody else you think it could help. Just post it to your social media too. Remember, I post videos every week that can help you with your skating, nutrition, fitness, and live a better life. So remember to subscribe and ring that bell so that you never miss a video. I have more videos that can help you with spins right here and here. This is Aimee. Thank you for watching. Happy skating and happy spinning. I will see you real soon. Bye.